Welcome everyone to a new video where I take your drawings and I make them into 3D models or killers, all that good stuff. You might notice, hey, this video length is much longer than what he usually does. That's because me and two other modelers are doing 5 models in total. We have a lot of different variety here. So sit back and relax and grab some snacks. I hope you enjoy the video. I just want to hop in and say this video is inspired by Weirdo Speed. He's a great 3D modeler. You should definitely check him out after you watch this video. Also, stay tuned for the end to see how your drawing can be submitted for next video. Okay, so we're making viewers' drawings once again, and we have so many submissions. I'll probably put right here, like, scrolling down how many submissions I got. I can count them too, I guess. It's absurd how much I have now. And thank you. Thank you for all of the submissions. Thank you for all the support on the video. Of course, if you guys want to see more, make sure to, like the video, comment, all that stuff like that. So I can really understand that you guys want to see more. I think we're going to start with this one because this one is just practically a Noli skin. But then we're going to go into this one, which is an entire, a new killer that we might have maybe own custom killer. It's really interesting. Let's go ahead and get the base colors on this character. And let's do a little bit of prep here. I always got to do prep. It takes a little bit long, but, necessary. Oh, he also has a blockhead, which I think that I like the blockhead. Very different than, the typical Roblox head. Okay, so here's my prep. But already you can see the character coming through. I don't know if I'm gonna add some extra textures or something, but this faces right here are going to be very interesting to do. I don't know how the heck I'm gonna eat one of these faces, but we will see. We will see. I'm trying to do his jacket right now, but I kind of hate making clothes. I kind of forgot about that. It's just hard. I don't know why clothes for me is just hard. That actually looks alright, but we're gonna put a subdivision. Okay, wait. I do be cooking though. I do be cooking though. My clothes might suck, but I do be cooking though. Okay, I do be cooking though. Look at that. That is actually, I'm actually cooking though. I did not realize that it was going to just, as the moment I'm saying, I don't really like making clothes, as I'm making it, I'm like, oh, this actually looks alright. By the way, if you're ever making something in Blender, just a little tip, you might encounter these, which are kind of visual glitches, shading errors pretty much. They make it look really ugly, and especially when you're rendering, it might cause some major problems. A very easy way to fix that is literally just go to edit mode, go to mesh up here, go to normal, and then reset vectors. Boom. It looks much better. Way better. And it's just an easy way to get around the whole shader error stuff. It's because you're stretching it and extruding it and messing it up, everything like that. It causes Blender to have a heart attack sometimes, but it's easy. It's an easy fix. What I always do on all my models is I select everything, go to mesh, normals, and then reset vertices, reset vectors, and then boom, it makes it look way pretty. Okay, I'm pretty much done with the spikes. This is a lot of copying and pasting and a lot of finger pain, but I did do it. And it looks pretty darn freaking good. I'm gonna try to go ahead and make his crown. It looks very similar to the Noli crown, but it also could just be a bunch of spikes in a circle. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, it looks pretty straightforward to make, so let's try to make it, and then it should be straightforward. We'll see. Okay, so the crown was really easy to make. As you can see here, straightforward. Add a bunch of those spikes. Add a bunch of little spikes. All that goodness. Oh, like, goodness gracious. I feel like that's pretty close. We need to, of course, make the eyes a little... got, a little bit unsymmetrical. As you can see here, they're pretty not symmetrical. This one's longer, this one's a little bit smaller, and I like that because it kind of creates his very like disturbed face. I like it. Looks very disturbed and very unhinged. So that pretty darn close with the faces. See how similar they are. Look at this. Look at that. I feel like that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. I guess I gotta add the final textures and then I'll start lighting and put them into the scene. That will be good. This was decently straightforward to make. I just had to figure out the pose that I wanted to do and then put them in a nice cool scene. You might actually recognize this scene from my Discord killer animation I made. I just was like, why not? It's a cool scene. I want to reuse it. And I also made sure that the face would glow with also like spinning effects and vortex effects around the head that he's holding, because I just felt like it fit the character and fit the whole scene. Here's how it came out. I really enjoyed the like effects and spiral around the head and the void star, I guess. It is really, really cool. This is probably one of my more favorite ones I've created. So now on to Blue the Random for the second model.
What's up guys, I'm Blue. Today I'm gonna be making concept from Edible Bread Boy, aka official Edible Bread Boy 1345. Me personally, I really like the half-tone style, and you know, it's just really cool. Like, I like the cartooniness. It's really fun, and I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun working on this. So right here you can see I'm finished with the arm. Let's get done with the other one. I had a little bit of a wrinkle to the hat as well, you know, just little beats, no beats, bits of detail, my gosh. Anyways, I made that. I still don't know how I'm gonna make gradient texture. I've never made one, so I'm gonna search it up real quick. I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna add it, and that's it. So I don't know why, but this actually kind of reminds me of what freaking, what's it called? That one dude, I'm gonna put it on the screen, that one dude kind of looks like that. I don't know, in my head it kind of looks like that. But yeah, anyways, enough crap.
I wanted to pop in real quick. By the way, Blue, that is N707's Cool Kid GUI screen. Okay? I'm actually. What you're about to see is not edited, is not created by me. I didn't know that he was gonna do this. I didn't edit it. I didn't do anything. This is all Blue. This is what he submitted to me as an edit. Just to tell you guys, this is not in my control. What you're about to experience, okay?
I already made the model. I made concept art for the concept art of concept. I don't know. I'm gonna work on the shoes. I'm gonna texture it. I'm gonna record myself doing that. Overall, pretty happy with it. Yeah, just tell me your thoughts about it in the comments. Anyways, here's the final render, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thank you, Blue, for giving us that wonderful editing and god dang, Blue, what the heck? Let's go back to me. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start with this character. I'm pretty excited to work on this character. He looks honestly very straightforward compared to this character, but the only thing that I am going to probably be struggling on is the, like, I guess gooey smoke, whatever this effect is. Very good effect. I really like it, but I have no idea how to recreate it. Well, we will figure it out. We first want to just like elongate this man. I think this is how we want to make his body. He looks pretty weird here, but he does have that kind of like this random spot that's not there. So that's gonna have to work now. Here we go. So I made his face pretty straightforward to make, honestly. Just add that void there. Then I'm gonna make his armor, and then his cape, and then we're gonna add a bunch of cool effects and stuff to him. That's important. Honestly, this is very straightforward. I did not think that this would be so straightforward. But of course, I've had a decent amount of experience making armor before, so it's not the hardest thing to make some armor for this guy. But I just think that's really funny. I like the color palette, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. This is a really interesting color palette. I've never really seen any color palette like this before, you know? And yep, that was the cape. Really straightforward. Very simple. Nothing crazy. I might want to sharpen these corners up a tiny bit. That's really it. There's not much. Oh yeah, that looks terrible. Now I'm gonna rig him, but I feel like his character, the way that he looks, is very kind of wiggly. Huh? I don't know how to really describe it, but his arm, he's not normal. He's not like R6. He's kind of just like he's stretched out, weird version of R6, and I like that. I like it. So I'm gonna add subdividing here. Why I'm doing that is because what this does, it allows me to add a lot of movement to the character, really, you know, showing how distorted this character really is. This guy's not the average Roblox person, not at all. This guy's weird. You know, I'll make his rest of his body void, so it just completely absorbs all light. It's good. It fits the character, honestly. Okay, so I put actually, let me go get a different material for metal. I'm not liking the metal. Okay, so I feel like it's looking pretty right here. I'm not super loving the gloss on top here, but we're figuring it out right now. Like the rest of it is definitely pretty good. I like all of the whole vibe here. I don't know how I'm gonna do the whole effect of him like disintegrating or whatever. Okay, so this might look pretty weird, but if I actually go into render mode, you can see here, he looks like he's kind of like, it's all kind of like coming off of him and waving. It's pretty laggy. I don't know if my recording is going to pick this up, but it's pretty cool. Especially all of these little details here. These little parts coming off of him. I think that's really cool. I don't know how the heck, if I reset, look at that, You're crazy, dude. You're crazy, dude. But I do need to go ahead and rig it. Let's see if this rigging works. I don't know, because it is a blocky character. Ew, my lord, it worked. And he's wobbling too. What the heck? He's wobbling. Holy Jesus, he wobbles. Whoa, he wobbling. Look at him. He's so wobbly. But it worked great, actually. There you go. We have him being rigged. We gotta rig the cape and then add the background, but pretty straightforward, honestly. Okay, so actually making a scene for him and putting him in that scene was pretty complex, and I kept on having to go back and forth on what to do. Mainly because I was messing with fog simulations, which is just a pain of its own. But, you know, it in the end, it looked really cool, and I feel very proud of it. Really enjoyed making this character. Again, he has like this intense aura about him, and I really like that. He's actually like a kind of a scary character, and you don't get that a lot sometimes. This is how it came out. Love the way it looked. Thank you so much for submitting it. It is sick. Now on to Hot Bliscuit for the final model.
How's it going, everyone? Hot Bliscuit here. I'm so glad to be here, and thank you, Sunray, for having me on your video for making the Forsaken Killers. First, I'm going to start off by making a lemon killer called Nero by Darkman. Thank you for the concept. I absolutely loved it. It's goofy, but it's still creepy at the same time. So here you can see we are making the sort of unnerving, uncanny face with little smile and eye details. and this took me surprisingly long, so I'll just cut to the next part. So here you can see we're adding more textures to the face, sort of like Voronoi and color ramp textures, trying to get that lemon appearance. It worked kind of well. I mean, it ain't perfect, but is any model perfect really? Sorry, couldn't speak there. But you can see now we're making the claws with extruded vertices, faces, and just getting that sharp, low poly appearance. And then I will be duplicating it 3 times for the 3 fingered claws on each hand, similar to the reference image. And then we will move on to the next part of the character. And you can see here, we have the sort of vest, jacket sort of thing. And then right now I'm texturing it with Voronoi, color ramp, and brick textures to get sort of cartoony, but still nice and detailed looking appearance. Now you can see I want to make a name tag for the character, so subdivide, well, not subdivide, solidify, remesh, and ultimately add more detail, little name tag right here, and then I'll put the name on the name tag, separate the letters into different colors, arrange them, adjust them, give them that wobbly feeling that they have in the pictures in the reference, and then we will have Nero. And right here you can see that I'm making a lemon grenade. Okay, sorry, that isn't that funny, but you can see I'm adding green to it. I arranged it all along the vest, giving it that sort of goofy weapon look. And here, this wasn't exactly in the reference. This wasn't exactly in there, but I wanted to make a lemonade gun. You can't completely see it in the final image, but it's there on his back. And right on the top, you can see the 2 areas where he puts the lemons in. On the back is this sort of lemonade cartridge, sort of armrest, if you will. And then right here, I'm making the trigger, the handle that he can hold the gun with. And then you could see I'm just adding a little more detail to it, adding more sort of smaller little grip things. You can see that tick, 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 all the way down, making it thicker, thinner, all the places that need adjusting. And then soon I will also be texturing it. So there we go, we're adding green and yellow sort of lemony textures. Again, this one is goofier than the next one's gonna be, but I feel like in a sense that's still fine, that's still cool, and it's still nice to see. Face select was very useful in my making of this model, and that's how I got many of the low poly details to be exactly how I wanted them, plus very simple texturing, which was mostly noise textures. That is something that I feel like could help out a lot of Blender users because they're not that bad and they're easy to make. So with the final details of this gun getting finished up, it's time to move on to the beauty shots. Thank you so much to Darkman for giving me this concept, for making this concept. I loved putting it into a 3D perspective as a custom Forsaken killer, and without further ado, we will move on to the next more serious and dark concept. For this one, I chose a concept called Tree Agony from Wyatt Avoid, which sort of depicts a tree, but kind of metallic, evil, industrialized. And so I'm going for the roots slash sort of clawed toes on the feet as the first part of focus on this. And again, I'm using the same claws from my Lemonade character. Editing the textures here, we have bark textures mixed with grayish and maybe reddish blood, dried blood or something, really leaning into that creepy vibe. Right here you can see I'm UV unwrapping everything so that the bark flows more naturally and better with the character's topology and faces. And here you can see I'm editing the eyes to give them a red, haunting appearance. And then making the outline. And then after that, I will be making the pupils, so you really get that feeling that this evil tree is staring into your soul. After that, I added a hair simulation to the right arm to simulate the rusty metal, evil, grabbing hand tentacle sort of thing. I didn't really go for a cable sort of perspective. I thought this would be a little bit easier and would also look pretty nice with the overall design so far. And you can see right now, I'm adding sort of a chest plate on the right side because that's how it looks on the reference image. And then right here, you can also see I'm adding the eye in the middle. I really like that. It gave sort of more of that creepy identity look that the whole character has, where it's this thing of nature turned evil, possibly by some person, some unnatural thing, and now it's coming back for revenge. And that's why, again, I'm using the red glowing texture, seeing how it looks in a rendered view, tweaking the colors, tweaking all the different sort of things. And then now I will go to Future Hot Bliscuit. Hey, Future Hot Bliscuit here. I forgot to record this, but as you can see, the character is fully done. We added some creepy sort of seek eyes, as you can see right here. And we added a helmet attachment right here on the top of the head with more horns, fix the horns on the body, and fix the horns on the arm. Overall, finishing the character in its creepy aesthetic. So without further ado, time for beauty shots. I feel like, again, we've got another amazing concept, and I feel like it turned out really well in the final scene in the Forsaken map that was given to me by Sunrave for this video. And I'd like to thank everybody who submitted to Sunrave, because the amount of support on his channel is overwhelming and amazing, and it was just so fun to be part of this opportunity. I didn't get the chance to make all the concepts that were on my list, but I definitely feel like the two that I got to do came out very nicely. So now I'll pass it right back to Sunrave.
Thank you so much, Hot Bliscuit, for that amazing render. Okay, so that's all 5 killers. Now, I wanted to just preview all of them because they're so cool. Thank you, Hot Bliscuit and Blue, for freaking joining this video. I could have not done it literally without you guys. I'm not doing 5 killers by myself. I would probably die doing that. That sounds terrible, honestly. But you know, it's amazing that we got this all done. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Of course, like the video, share the video so that I can see that you actually want me to do more of these. I want to see that feedback, because that's the way that I understand this type of stuff. Now, I did want to mention that the way you submit your drawings is that you can go ahead and upload them to my community tab, or you can go to your own community tab and do @Sunrave3D, and you will be able to just send me a picture of your models, and that will be amazing. That would be amazing. I get more support on this type of stuff, and we can continue making this amazing series. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, night, or afternoon, and peace out.